So I've been, making YouTube videos for a long time. What actually inspired me to make YouTube videos? Why is this channel here? What's the history behind the RaiderKnight channel? I'm gonna dive into it for this video, look back at the old things that kind of made me want to start YouTube, and overall how it's gone over the past, about 4 years we've been making content on YouTube. But I've made content way before YouTube, starting with this. Back when Facebook was popping in 2013 up to, I'd say, mid 2015, this is what I was doing, bro. I was fucking playing Facebook games like Farmville and shit, bro, when that was popping. And I had this page on Facebook called Addicted Gamer Co, bro, because as you all know, I'm a gamer, quite frankly, possibly addicted at the time. So I named I named a website. That wasn't even a website because I didn't even have a website, but I named a website addictedgamer.co as if that was ever going to be a thing. And I'm not gonna lie, it looks okay. It's got a logo, even though it's pretty shit. It's got this cool banner with all these games that I don't even play. A lot of these games on here I didn't even play. Star Fox, bro, fuck Star Fox. I don't even play it. Uncharted, don't even really give a fuck. I do play Halo, I do play Doom, I play Pokemon and Fallout, but these two, why the fuck are they on the picture? Who knows, bro? It's like I was a fucking fake person back in the day or something. Because back when I hardcore like posted content on Facebook and Twitter, under like ats like this, I would just post the dumbest shit, bro. Like, what the fuck was I posting? And I did it for a long time. Like, yeah, I was even doing it in like 2016 apparently, which is fucking crazy because that's like right when I started making. That's like 6 days after I started making Rukoi videos, or 6 days after I joined Rukoi, roughly. And I say, should Nintendo make retro games or new ones on mobile? As if it fucking mattered to begin with, bro. And I used all these hashtags on Facebook trying to get engagement, which is just right here. I wanted to get engagement and likes on my post, which I never could. I don't know why I fucking tryharded this so hard. Fuck, bro, I didn't even play this game. Addicted Gamer Review, Kirby Planet Robot. Bro, I didn't even own this game, didn't play it, somehow still gives a rating for it. Fuck that. Bro, what a fucking tryhard I was back then, bro. Like, I swear to God, if it was not for YouTube to bring me down to earth, I would have fucking turned into Fortnite fucking Ninja. Would have been a complete dumbass who just doesn't know what the fuck he's doing and just follows the herd, bro. Very glad I had YouTube to prevent me from becoming a fucking Fortnite Ninja. Moving on to YouTube, YouTube is really where I think I found my footing. If it wasn't for YouTube, I probably would not be in a good spot, as I've said before. I think we started out really small. We started out playing kind of like these games nobody had heard of, like Monster Squad. We played AOC2, or not AOC2, AOC1, which actually would lead to me having AOC2 be one of my most popular series on my channel, ironically. And back then, I was only getting like 2 views on every fucking AOC1 video with like no sound. So to go from that to what we've done with AOC is pretty crazy. But even back then, bro, I started with Rukoi. Rukoi, I was only getting like 3 views per video for a very long time. I think I posted like 50 videos on Rukoi in like the span of a week without sound, just because I was having so much fun in the early days of me making content on YouTube. And I feel like that's what led to me becoming very big on Rukoi in terms of like YouTube. Had so much content and nobody else was really making content for the game that people would just click my videos out of the lack of content, and that's probably what built my initial audience in this game. Obviously, I would later talk in my videos, and I'd later have face cam for a couple of them until removing it, just because I didn't really feel like having it for every video. But yeah, this is like what we did back in the days. I hit 100 subs. I think that was probably after like 150 videos of soundless content. But that video got 34 views. I mean, I was not a very big channel at the time. 100 subs special only had 30 views. really nostalgic going back and just looking at all these old videos. I mean, I remember when I started talking in videos around this time with the Dead Flag Gold video, which was very popular, by the way, because there was like no gold drop of this size ever in Rukoi, but until like this point, and this was like a really big deal for quite a while. Even with the GM boss spawn video, like GM never did that up until this point. This was a really big video as well. And just kind of going back and seeing the history of my channel, Rukoi, and AOC2 as well, and just everything like that kind of build together is really kind of special to me. Now, obviously, during this time in the early times of my YouTube channel, I would say my content really was not that different compared to Facebook. I was still posting really bad content that really wasn't completely me yet, but I think I was starting to really find myself through this. And it did start to help me build a little bit better image of myself, I think. Face reveal, and later we did a fucking 1K sub special, which got about 200 views. And I had another 1K special where I scolded a lot of people in Rukoi. I feel like I definitely had a lot to learn, but when I hit 1,000 subs, I feel like things started to get a little bit better almost. I think it took me a little bit longer. It wasn't exactly when I hit 1,000 subs. I feel like the content was still pretty terrible at that point. But it took a while for me to fully, I don't know, come into my own in terms of like making content the way I want to. I feel like I was still somewhat ingenuine during this time. I kind of went through this like cringe phase where I would like say dab over and over and stuff like that. And it definitely took me some time. We even started Lyrical Warlock during this cringe era, which is kind of ironic. We might still be in the cringe era, bro. Who fucking knows? Maybe we never left the cringe era to a degree. But I don't know. I have decent memories from this time. I think we were definitely starting to come more into like the realization that I don't really have to be such a fake channel on this. Faded Sea, bro. This might be one of the points where it kind of flicked. I feel like this is a pretty good video to describe as a turning point. I started having a lot better thumbnails during this time, and I don't know, I felt kind of nostalgic of the old days, but I kind of wanted to also change things up a little bit. As you can probably tell if you've watched this Faded Sea video, it used to be one of my favorite videos on the channel back in the day. But this was kind of like the turning point in a way. Because I started the year 2018 thinking that my channel was done for. It wasn't really going to go anywhere past that point in 2017. But oh boy, would I be surprised. It started out small with some AOC videos really performing well, but it would eventually go to be that AOC2 was coming out really quickly. And that's kind of where my channel slowly went towards. It slowly, and it hit 2K also, but once AOC2 came out, my channel experienced one of the largest growths it ever did. During this time in 2018, I was starting to really come into my content, really make videos that I wanted to make. Didn't really like try hard as much in Rukoi. I kind of quit Rukoi for the most part. Mainly just making videos in Rukoi that I wanted to make instead of really hardcore grinding for the next level or EXP or whatever. And I feel like a lot of my best content, at least in the early days, was probably in 2018. RaiderKnight memes started getting popular. This is when RaiderKnight stat videos started getting memed because I had low stats in the game. I don't know. I remember these videos all with pretty fond memories. There was really a lot of good times. I was definitely starting to become a lot more open, I think. And I definitely started talking a lot more about things I was actually interested in. And really, this is kind of when I found myself, I think, a little bit better. I don't think even now I fully found myself, but I feel like this has kind of led me down to a better path. And the entire path would lead me to make another video kind of similar to the other one we talked about. Only this one was called The Journey, which was practically the last video I was making in Rukoi until I decided to come back to Rukoi, obviously, a few months later. But The Journey was kind of like my goodbye to Rukoi in a sense. And then after that, I started making a lot of these random videos. I thought my channel was probably dead at this point. It's probably in a very similar situation as it is right now, where I just kind of post random content. But during this time, I was just posting a lot of random stuff, hoping it would stick. And that would eventually lead me to playing more AOC2 and AOC2 blowing up like no game ever had before on my channel. I made a couple of videos like talking about how AOC2 is coming out pretty soon. I talked about how I would make certain scenarios, ideas that I wanted people to give me. And I also talked about just I believe when it's going to come out, speculating on release dates. And when the game finally dropped, I dropped the crab rave meme. AOC2 is out. And then I dropped the Luxembourg video, which got 100,000 views very quickly a couple days later. Afterwards, I posted a lot of other AOC2 content, and that's kind of what led AOC2 to really be like the biggest thing on my channel. And when AOC2 was blowing up, it was like a rebirth in a sense. Obviously, my channel peaked a long time ago in Rucoy, but when AOC2 got popular, it felt like it was like a brand new start. I had a chance to really make content that I wanted to make, and I really took a lot of appreciation in that. And I would say some of these AOC2 videos are some of the best content I have on the channel, debatably. Then 2019 hit, AOC2 was starting to lose popularity to a degree. The videos were getting less views slowly and slowly, but I still tried to milk it for quite a while. I got a new job, and I kind of had a lot of fun talking about that. I made this video called The Mad Titan Gandhi. It was kind of funny. I feel like in 2019, when I got my job and AOC2 was starting to decline, I definitely felt like this was the end of the RaiderKnight channel, as I speak about in the video ironically titled The End. This is when my channel started to diminish in popularity and never really fully recovered. It still really hasn't, even to this day. I didn't take it very well when it started dying initially, I don't think. But over time, I feel like it's actually made the channel better, ironically. Yeah, in 2019, my channel was starting to die when AOC2 lost popularity. Along with me finding a new job, as well as just overall time constraints, I was posting less content, and that would lead me to see a big decline in my channel's popularity. This time, I guess you could call this kind of like the dark ages of the RaiderKnight channel in a sense. I was posting a lot less, I felt like the channel was going nowhere. Lost a lot of motivation this year, but I feel like it also made me a better person, ironically. This year definitely taught me a lot. It knocked me off my high point, I guess you could say. I definitely was at a better place in this high point compared to when Rucoy was at its high point, but I don't know. Luckily, though, this would also be a turning tide where I would find a new passion in Discord Pokemon, which would lead me to create a server that gained 10,000 players at its peak. During this time, I was slowly returning to my Yu-Gi-Oh passion, as well as getting a very large. I enjoyed Drain Gang before late 2019, but I feel like I really started getting completely like into Drain Gang and hip hop, as well as just a lot of other hardcore like PC type music during this time. I feel like my passions really started to grow a lot when my channel was at one of its lower points, which is kind of ironic. This is also when I moved out into my own house, so that probably also played a role in it. When you move out, the world is yours to conquer, essentially, and you can do whatever you want. I have very fond memories of this time because I feel like this is some of the best. Well, this is also. I was pretty depressed, also. Let's be real. I was posting a lot less, and I was definitely wasn't happy about that. But that was like time constraint. Time constraints, you just got to work around it. And eventually, I found a better way to work around it, which wouldn't make me so depressed all the time. But it definitely depressed me for a long time. These time constraints. This is also when Minecraft was starting to get really nostalgic. I revisited my oldest Minecraft world, which a lot of people kind of like the look of it. This was a very nostalgic thing for me because, as I mentioned before, Minecraft was kind of like my escape for the longest time. And this is practically what I built during that. Overall, I think the channel is still kind of in that same state as it was even in late 2019. but I definitely started uploading a lot more because I've kind of figured out I can kind of navigate through the time constraint. And I feel like in the year 2020, even though the year itself has sucked, there's been a lot of terrible things that have happened. I feel like I've definitely grown to appreciate my audience more, myself more, and overall, I think I've produced some of my best content, especially in these last couple of months. And that's kind of where I want to end this video at. I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who have just been with this journey the whole time. This is kind of like the history of my channel in a sense, bro. And overall, this is kind of the story of the RaiderKnight channel in a sense. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys when we hit 6969 subs, because it's coming soon and it's going to be pretty cool. Peace.